Thank you, Vale. I did it for you.
All right, I gotta get the. I keep forgetting I have to start that timer, otherwise it doesn't time. Still getting used to running the Pokemon game. Hey, Berserk, Wish, Jay, Necro. Thank you for the raid. Okay, let's see here. That should be good. All right. Oh, just getting through another week, getting ready to start pushing everything next week. Got to go out. I don't know what's going on tomorrow, but I got to go out this weekend and hopefully help get the last of the things set up for my dad's gym. Hopefully, we get the final everything all squared away for that. Why is this not? I had it squared away the other day. No, it's not wanting to. There we go. Gotta be exact with it. Yeah. My dad is getting the final touches done on his gym. We've got one more length of carpet to lay. We've got one more length of carpet to lay. We got one machine that we got to move from my parents' house to the gym. And then we've got some uh, punching bags that need to be inflated and hung. Uh, the racks are all set up for them, but they need to be hung up. So hopefully we finish it off this weekend and everything's good to go. Regardless, I let them know that I'm going back to my schedule next week, so anything we do after this weekend has to be in line with that, preferably. Okay. Should be good things. Yoi koto ga aru hazura. Should be good things. Okay. Time to plan for some Dungeons and Dragons. Dungeon and Dragons no Keikaku Goto Teru Chiki ga Kimashita. That, what the heck? Where is that? That is a massive word there. I get more information on that word? Can you define that word? Okay. See, they jammed it all together as one word when it was meant to be broken down into three.
計画を立てる
Keikako wo tataru. Keikaku wo tataru. Okay.
計画を立てる
Wo tataru.
計画を立てる
Okay. Sure. It doesn't say what that word means though. Let's go ahead and just drop that into yep, nope. So it means to make plans. So that's the section of the word. To make plans. Keikaku wo tataru. Make plans. Alright, so I already kind of know the direction I want to take things in the story that I'm running. But I don't know exactly how I'm going to get them there. Need to come up with some specifics as well. I want to flesh out the generics too a little bit better. That way, in case they have questions, I can work on that or come up with that. And I've been building up the generics bit by bit. But it'd be good to have like a set archive for them. Yeah. Okay, so Go to the generic world info. And so there are a number of mega cities. On the line of LA and New York. Need to come up with actual names for the other cities. So far, I've only named one of them. So there's a section of the land called the Iron Coast, which is rich in minerals, where most of the mining fortifications are, or not fortifications, but I guess you say mining and smithing takes place, as well as abundance of things like gunpowder that aren't normally around the rest of the world. I'm looking to name the city there. Um, ooh, ooh, Iron Grove. I like that. I like that very much. I think Iron Grove is a good name because they cleared the area out, took down the trees, and put in their own buildings. While the buildings still use timber and stone, they are reinforced, just like the walls are reinforced to display the might of their city. So they are the Iron Grove, is the name of the city. Like that. to what happened to all right. Good night, Necro. Take care. Thanks again for the raid. Let's see. That is a lot of things I can't pronounce. Windmar. I like the name of that. Windmar. That sounds good. That's actually, yeah. Windmar. Hey, Pants. How's it going? Jayd. Still feeling blue. That's not good. I mean, what's going on? Anything you want chit chat about? Or we are here for you. We're all friends here. It's Kevin's fault. That makes sense. Yeah, we can blame it on Kevin. We can do that. We can blame it on Kevin. Kevin no se ni shite mo ii. I think I said that right.
ケビンのせいにしてもいい。
Yep. Shite mo ii. Oh yeah. Yeah, I could see where that might get you down there, Pants. I mean, depending on the situation, yeah, I could see where that might make you a little blue. First off, muscle withdrawals to begin with, then on top of that, really making you want to go. Yeah, yeah. There's a lot of people in there that are worth missing, so I don't blame you at all. That's an interesting name. Last about a week. Well, hopefully, with the bar coming back on Saturday, that could help take your mind off things. With all the new stuff, maybe it help distract you. Bawakio Magara Wasu no ni Yakudachi Mas. Uh, yeah, I'll be back to a normal schedule next week too. Like I said, this week has been all over the place. We got that new game starting Monday. Watching The Last Jedi was depressing. Yeah. Dead Island 2 was good until I got just a little too out of it to keep up. Okay, let's see. I'd like to have another one in there. Uh, all right. So we've got quite a number of sort of main cities we've got labeled throughout this world. All right. One thing I will say is spell correct. I like to think it helps me with my spelling. I do way better than what I used to. Uh, I used to be terrible at spelling, despite how much I read. I used to be terrible at spelling. But ever since autocorrect got so well done, and I don't mean to say that ironically, ever since autocorrect got uh, very intelligent with a lot of what it can read, it's actually helped me correct my spelling over the years. So, well, I still fuck up words like opulence. And a lot of other words I actually nail pretty well. And despite my lack of English skills, even as a native speaker, I am still trying to learn another language. Because, fuck me. I don't know how well that'll translate out. Okay. Night Tibasapike. What?
ネイティブスピーカーとしても英語スキルが不足しているにもかかわらず、私はまだ別の言語を学ぼうとしています。
Yeah, what she said. Night Tibasapika Toshite mo ego stukiru ga fusoku shite iru nimokaka wa razu watashi wa mada betsu no gengo o manabo to shite imasu. Yep, words are hard. Lids and things are hard and stuff. Now I'm just describing the cities I already have founded. Ima watashi wa sudeni risuto sarite iru toshi ni suite setsume shite iru daka desu. Oh God, what were uh, is there a term for the turn of the century? They had those. I think they just called them sanitariums, but sanitarium isn't the right word. I'm not talking about crazy people. Um, the places like the Kellogg's facility where people would go to get healthy, they'd go there at like the turn of the century, late 1900s or early, or yeah, late 1900s, early uh, millennia, like 1890s, 1880s. Yeah, that kind of a thing. Like they'd go there to get do whatever spa stuff. Like the only name that comes to mind is Kellogg's, because I know Kellogg's started out as one of those places, and their food was supposed to be a health food given at the facility they ran. Um, but I don't just think it was called a spa, or I mean, it wasn't a bathhouse. It was a full, like you would go there and stay there for like a month. Um, I don't know what. Yeah, they were called sanitariums. They call them bathhouses. I'm reading it. The world-renowned resort in Battle Creek, Michigan, Battle Creek Sanitarium. How Dr. Kellogg's world-renowned health spa made him a wellness titan. Okay. 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 Estimate the stupidity of rich people. Kanemochi no Oroka sa o Keshite Kasho Hyoka Shinaid Kudasai. Okay. All right, Jay. See you soon. Got city foundations laid out. Okay. So, fleshing out the story thus far. Koramade, Koramade no Sutori o Kuwashiku Setsume Suruto. Detailing the story so far. Can't say we got low numbers here. I haven't really been interactive too much. I don't know. Not many people have said a lot, but at the same time, I haven't really been forward. I've been busy typing and like thinking without speaking out loud. I do apologize for that. That's my fault for I'm not used to just chatting story making. So I'm like thinking about story things and how do I oh yeah, and then I just type and forget to be speaking my thoughts out loud. So yeah, currently in the game, the party has left their main town. Their main town was way on the kind of the side of the world. Uh, and there are a couple of kind of separate, kind of separated out of the way cities, and theirs is one of them. So they had to go through more or less Wild West, Sherwood Forest esque territory. Not a flat Earth, no, but it wouldn't have behooved them to sail to the other side of the world. I mean, it could be a flat Earth. No one's saying it can't, since it's not actually Earth. It could be a flat disk sitting on the back of four elephants, standing on the back of a turtle, flying through space. Known as the Great Atum. But it's not. Instead of being round, for one, it's square. Um, no, I've only fleshed out like a main continent for this world, and then there are two kind of northern continents, and then a huge Southern Ocean and the rumors of a fourth long missing continent. Technically, they could sail around. I don't see why not. But where they need to go is actually very centralized. It was quicker for them to go through the unprotected Sherwood Forest-esque bandit-filled woods than for them to go around. Yes, invisible walls. This world is a magical world, and there's an invisible barrier that they can't get beyond. But no, they ended up finding an artifact. It was highly sought after by some individual. They didn't know at the time that this individual was seeking it, or that this was even the item the individual was after, until the individual made it known that he was after something. And then they found out what they had in their possession. They did attempt to sail with it somewhere else, but the ship and many of the crew were lost in the attempt. You could say that. It is an individual of ill repute, at least so far. The individual was doing strange genetic experiments, combining animals together, making weird hybrid species. They had a full alchemist layer that they found. The individual gave a little bit of a, not really a speech, just a surprised kind of, oh, someone found me. Someone made it here. Just a little, you can't comprehend what I'm doing. And then recognizing one of the other characters, someone didn't personally recognize them, but saw who the one of the characters was. Like, oh, you should be on my side, and then teleported away. And then when they attempted to, this was before they had the item, before they knew the person was after an item. They then ended up going to a place and finding the item. And upon finding the item, headed back to their main city. And they went about doing some extra little side objectives because they couldn't figure out what the item was. And they didn't have enough information. So it took time for the local authorities to investigate and figure out what it was. They did turn it into the authorities, who brought in a very large, renowned wizard to help identify things. They searched the person's base for clues and information. So there was a whole investigation that happened, and it took I think it took about 2 to 3 weeks in game time for this investigation to happen, while the party went off and did some side missions. And then they decided to, they had a contingent of guards. Like they had a whole company of troops, like 60 troops, that took, and the party was uh, hired to go as well since they were a part of what had happened. Um, they were hired and brought on and allowed to escort with the company and with the crew. They put it on a sailing ship and began sailing. And after several hours of sailing, not even a full day, but after several hours of sailing, the ship was attacked by a second individual. The first was an alchemist type character. The second individual who attacked him came with modified creatures, so there was a good hint that it was related to the first person. But this person was large, whereas the other person was in robes, looked like an alchemist, looked like a well read, studious individual, kind of monk like. This person was very big, very brawny, and very much looked like a massive barbarian with big black beard, that very long top knot ponytail, like what they do in very old Chinese martial arts movies. That's the best way I can think of to describe it. Um, Arctizel, really? I didn't even see what came up there. An Arctizel. That's an interesting thing to see pop up. Uh, but yeah, so there was a second one, much larger barbarian figure that popped up, and they were able to beat off the fight away the modified creatures and beat back the giant barbarian, who then took off flying at great speed, which actually really surprised the one veteran player in the group. Like that person flew that fast that far. That must be a thing. Oh, you homebrew? Nope, that's an official by the book thing. No homebrew involved. Um, but yeah, so there's the two main protagonists that have jumped up now. The alchemist, dressed mostly in green, who, yeah, again, not quite as imposing of a figure, kind of monk like with the thinner frame, full bald head, wearing green robes similar to a scholar or an alchemist with a huge alchemist's lab. Ooh, I like that name. So there's the alchemist in green and the barbarian figure with the dark hair. Did some name generation here, and Gegorth came up with, which I think sounds good for the barbarian character. Gegorth. Now, does Gegorth get any subtitle? Gegorth the something. The Berberian. Do we give them a title? Carrera ni Taitoru o Sukemaska. The Berberian. I don't think Berberian fits. Unless the guy wears a lot of cologne. The artist. Yeah, I don't think the artist works. I'll go ahead and I'll just give it away. So the barbarian is actually a black dragon with disguised self on, and the green alchemist is a green dragon. He loves statues made from the bodies of his fallen. He's like a murderous Banksy. I mean, I'd be more inclined to give that to the green, but um, I don't know. I just don't. Eh. A love word's might use that for a completely different character. Honestly, that sounds pretty hysterical. Surreal. Actually, I kind of like the surreal. That'll be the green name of the green one. Uh, Honestly, I like the idea. I like the idea there, Fumbles. That's something I'm going to have to put in. Not with either of those two characters, but that is something. Come back to murderous artist. Well, no, like I mean, yeah, I laughed at it. It's a humorous concept, even though I like it, and I was just like, no, not for this character. And I was like, in general, that does sound like a pretty interesting thing. And I know where I'm going to put that character, too. I know exactly where they're going to go in the world. Everyone needs something to do as a pastime. I can't disagree with that fact. That's how he comes down after the rage. Hmm. How do that one's not getting added in. Not adding that. Let's see. I do like the artist idea, but we're not smashing pots. So little man syndrome, always picking fights. I know people like that. Well, I have known people like that. I don't know anyone like that currently. Gonna have to find a place for them to inhabit. Going to have to find there's a lot of things I'm gonna have to come up with. None of them have to be immediate. Because we don't need these people to be present. To be in the story at the moment. These two have a bunch of resources between the creatures that Suriel is creating and available bounty hunters that can be hired easily enough. They don't have to be directly involved. Uh, so there's a lot of things we can figure out about them later. A lot of the more pertinent, more important things are coming up with NPCs they will need to interact with fairly right off the bat. And you can see my other. Where is my other notebook? Nope. Nope. Is it there? Is it in here? There it is. I didn't think so. No. So much bullshit. Right there. I was digging too far down. It was fairly up at the top. Okay. Go through this notebook and see what words and phrases are in here. Legitimately don't know. Oh, it's not even in that one. It's over here. Over here. I got notes everywhere. I need to centralize these things. That's what I'm trying to do with this. Get it all centralized. Right there. Okay. Okay, so we've got our players. Hey, good catch, Wish. That's a hell of a combination there. I'm glad I'm not your player at this moment. I got someone that I play with who he's not happy unless he gets people near death. If he can down someone, then it was a good fight for him. That's the way he DMs. It's painful sometimes. The opposite. I was just trying to figure out what the opposite of a citadel was. A burning, what's the opposite of a citadel? One player already fell into the lava. Oh, and that one. You hate to see it. When you're in that kind of situation, you hate to see it. You hate to see it. Anada wa sore o miru no ga kirai desu. Well, that, I mean, yeah. Good they were able to do that. Right, yeah. Well, I mean, it depends on the type of lava, but yeah, for the most part, exposed external lava is going to be semi solid. It's not Minecraft lava. Pirate captain? Okay then. Was it very much like okay, okay. So is it so then the question is um once his crew is full he goes back out to pirate more. So is it like an isolated thing like the Pirates of the Caribbean where it's isolated to the Caribbean or isolated to this island chain or this whatever? Or is this like something that's dominant throughout the world? Gotcha. So it is a kind of a worldwide phenomenon, and this is his chunk of it. Um, the world I built is very basic. It's just very generic. I'm fleshing it out right now. The players are rather low level at the moment. I believe they just recently hit level 4, or they're still level 3. Um, Actually, let me double check on that real fast. It's very much meant to be a long term campaign. Yeah, they're level 4. So the characters are all level 4. There's only 3 player characters. They do have an NPC insert with them. So that way they're a group of 4. Uh, I'm not really having problems coming up with uh, ideas. It's more refining the details. That's always kind of my problem. I can make big broad strokes, and I can come up with combats, and I can come up with monsters, and I can come up with story plots. It's then taking and refining those down, and that's kind of where I'm at right now. A lot of things need to be refined and detailed. Microscope. What is microscope? What is microscope? Okay. I think think I've heard about this. Okay, yeah, I've heard about this. Okay, yeah, no, this is something that I know AAU was working on before he quit streaming. I remember this. I remember reading through a lot of this information before, yeah. Okay, okay. He may or may not have mentioned that. I don't remember. That was so long ago. Yeah. No, definitely that yeah. Implement a lot of that just into the creation process. You know, that's some good information. Uh, yeah. Well, that's legit right there. It does, yeah. That's quite an abundance of information and a great way to manifest ideas for sure. We will play with that, see how that goes. Absolutely. Yeah, no, you're not wrong. Yeah, no, that's a good way to chronicle the history of the world for sure. And you can even take that into microscopic detail and detail these specific events of what your party's dealing with. Yeah. Hmm. Yeah, that is definitely something to make use of for sure. So. Went around town with a bag of holding. Okay. Sure, okay. Gotcha, gotcha. Oh God. That, depending on how high up, that probably could have killed him. Of course, even if it wasn't high up, it probably still could have killed him just by suffocation. That's I I would do the same thing. I would also attempt to ban all magic. Poop day. Right. Yep. Poop day. They celebrate the unbanning of magic. That's funny. They reenact it. Oh, jeez. Does uh does he reenact it against the king again, or do they choose someone to reenact it against, or does it just go into a pile in general? How do they reenact it? Ah, they select one lucky person to play the king. I don't know if I call it lucky. She was so excited to finally be picked. Insert the Titanic gift. Yeah, yeah. Yeah. I just can't help but imagining someone suffocating under a 10-foot pile of feces, though. Probably sleep is what I need, Jay. Honestly, my energy's been at a terrible level lately. Um, I think a lot of that is just because of. Well, I think there's a number of reasons for it, but this specific moment, I'm not sure. I know I've started. Uh, for a while there, I was pretty energetic, and I'm still energetic. Like I'm not tired. I just can't stop yawning. Yeah, that's true too, Pants. Staying up over 24 hours always does it. No, that's good, Fumbles. I mean, that's super good. I hope you stick with it if that's what you're wanting to do, because that is not a bad thing at all. I've actually, when I say I've been working on myself, I mean it. I actually bought a home workout bench not that long ago. Got a couple of free weights and some of the tension bands and stuff, as well as there's a local gym that I go to. I picked that up because I knew the holidays were going to be rough on me and I wouldn't be able to make it to the gym all that often. So I spent the money and got the bench. It was just a cheap bench, but I've been keeping at it. Uh, Weighed myself today and I'm down below 250. Back in May, I was at over 290. So uh, I kind of hit a plateau there for a while. It was hard for me to get down below like 260, but when I weighed myself this morning, I was at 246. So I'm getting down. Um, yeah, thank you. I really, I still drink soda from time to time, but not very often. I completely cut out energy drinks. I've really been watching my portion control, and I've been trying to work out a lot more. Um, I've definitely noticed a difference in my energy levels just from that. But yeah, I don't feel like I've lost a lot of weight. I don't think I look like I've lost a lot of weight, but I've lost a ton of weight. Ideally, I'd like to get down to 200, 180 and around that area. That's my ideal pinpoint. The gallon challenge? Was that like a gallon of water each day or something? Uh, yeah, a gallon of water each day. Okay, okay. I can respect that. Since I stopped drinking soda and stuff, I drink a ton of water. Um, the eggs turned out okay, Jay. They solidified a little bit, but not enough. It was still rather runny, unfortunately. But I mean, the flavor was there. Uh, I just need to do better at measurements. But it was a first attempt, so I know better for next time. She overscheduled you? Got it, got it. Yeah, pants, it is tough, but I mean, even that is not good. Like, eating nothing is bad. Cutting yourself down to, like, one meal is bad. Like, a lot of that stuff is you just want to really want to watch your portion controls. One of the best things you can do, actually, and I don't do this, but one of the best things you can do as far as eating and portion controls and stuff is to just actually eat like 4 or 5 really small meals, like a bagel with something, or an English muffin with something, or a small portion of rice and chicken. Like small portions that you use throughout the day to keep you full and maintain a level. So, hip hop classes, swim lessons, etc. Yeah, I can imagine that. Yeah, I've kind of been trying to dump everything into um, working on myself here lately. So hopefully that'll pay off for me. So we're slowly getting some background built up for this world. We've got things being built up. The big thing is going to be creating NPC characters. We have sort of the higher up military officer, captain of the local military / guards. We've got local mage, renowned mage who has a tower in the city. We have mayor, but we haven't actually named the mayor. He was just introduced as the mayor. No, it's a very it's very much the high fantasy. Um, the world is kind of a sprawling world. Where they started off is in the far eastern tip of the country, and the city's name is Dawnport. Sun still goes east to west because why not? But it's very kind of lush green all the way down to about midway. Let me do this. I created a map. Let me see if I can find it. Alright, so let me get this popped up here real fast. I've got the map. So let me share that as a source. Window capture. Yes, that. Okay, so I created this map here. Um, which I just kind of used as a basic. So this, I don't know if that's not picking up, I don't think. Um, that right there is the town of Dawnport, the farthest tip of the continent. That's where they started out. And they actually have traveled all along throughout this forest through about here for the first portion of their adventure. And they just recently traveled over to these mountains over here. So that's kind of where they're at now. They just traveled through the forest to the mountains. I do have 2 BBEGs that are working together. One of them is the brains, the other's the bronze, although they're both strong. But basically, their goal is just to stop the BBEGs. because the BBEGs are trying to find the 5 chromatic dragon masks to release Tiamat. Which the party may or may not understand that that's the end goal. I don't know. Or, yeah, no, they know what the item is they found. They know that it's one of the keys. And so right now they're operating under the assumption that they're trying to get the keys, which they are. And so they're actually traveling to the mountains there because that city is their closest bet. They don't know. They do not know. Um, the players stumbled across the BBEGs and then stumbled across the target that the BBEGs were after. And so they did actually find one of the masks, yes. And they're now in the mountains to seek advice from. That city is a city predominantly run by Dragonborn. And if anybody has any hints as to where masks might be or who might be after them, they are the strongest thing. So they're going there to inquire. Yep, at that town. There are a few main towns and then many, many villages, many unnamed villages. Kind of dotted the map a little bit, but there are without a doubt some main cities. There's Dawnport up there, the Iron Grove down there, Windmar, Jade Ponds, and Gogrum is what I named that one. So that's possible. That's an idea. That's an idea. What the heck was that? Something just blooped on my screen. Uh, Well, I don't think they fully understand the item they have in their possession at the moment. So I was gonna have the village elder being a dragonborn, um, and having access to that information, that lore about what the masks are, not necessarily where they are, but what they are, uh, possible locations for where they could be found, um, and uh, understanding their plight because of the level of threat that is after the mask. I was going to have, because the villains have sent creatures against the group already, I was going to have them send a much higher level creature against them, but while they're still in the town, and have the whole town come together to fight off the creature and use that as kind of a display of, okay, you're on the up and up, you're dealing with things, this is something we all need to get in on, kind of a situation. Um, uh, Give them that aha moment with what they're carrying, as well um, uh, as what possibilities it holds, and basically give them a checkpoint of other places where they can go to find more information or investigate further. For example, this little, not sure if you can see me highlighting things there. Yeah, that right there in the center of the ocean, that's actually unknown. Nobody knows if that's there or not because nobody's investigated that. And in the mountains, this little image right here, it's really kind of hard to see. But it looks like a burrow or a nest or a tunnel. It's just a visual indicator. Inside these mountains here is where the entrance to the Underdark is. And those are going to be the two places they're pointed out towards. There may be something over in this area, in this island chain. And some of them may have gone to, well, I don't think any of them are going to be on other planes. But ultimately their goal is to stop the people who are looking for them, and if possible, hide the one that they have found or any others that they might find. So there are a few options for their journey, things they can do. They don't necessarily have to kill the BBEG if they can find a way of removing that item from attainable locations. I don't know how to word that. Basically, put it in some place where even an elder dragon can't find it. Put it someplace where even a powerful mage would have to struggle to think about where it could be, let alone actually retrieve it. So, yeah, no, I'm working to, like I said, I've got a lot of the world detail, like the world itself and um, plot details all really hammered out. It's coming up with specific NPCs and the smaller level details. That's where I kind of get tripped up on the absolute storytelling details that are vital to things. The broad strokes I've got covered. It's narrowing it down and getting that focus down. So so that's what I've been working on. That should help a lot. Yeah, no, I've been using the name generator. But this for sure is going to be a million times better. Plot hooks, classic or funky. What? Okay, interesting, interesting. That gives some really good details. That gives great details. Subarashi Shusai Gae Raramasu. It even gives ability scores for them. Interesting. Granted, those ability scores are pretty generic. Plot hook. He's a serial killer at night. That would make for a terrible town elder. I'm just going to throw that part out. And that information's being copied over now. So that's good. That's good. We got that all squared away. I'm going to go to town with this NPC generator. That one I like. There we go. So Kindrel be the name of the elder. Silver Dragonborn. Smell people's hair inappropriately. Silver Dragonborn. Actually, let's do this. Early onset dementia. Well, it won't be early. He's going to be in his 60s. As a matter of fact, he's going to be... Okay, just dementia. Not early onset, it's just normal dementia. There. He is 63. He just gets up and walks off mid conversation. I like that. I like that thought. That's actually, I like that thought. Silver Dragonborn. Okay, so he will be... Gets to keep some magic dust for Dragonborn in the town for their age to go on spirit journey. Maybe, maybe. So Kindrel, the Elder, Silver Dragonborn, age 63. Rugged scales with a scar running up his arm, which on a successful perception check, they can tell is up the shield arm, so it's a combat scar, defensive combat scar. Mild dementia will trail off and walk away mid conversation on a bad. That would be a wisdom save on a bad wisdom roll. For a good time with the ladies in town. Okay. So he's got the scar running down his shield arm. He's got mild dementia, will trail off and walk away mid conversation on a bad wisdom roll. So as the elder, he has knowledge of and access to the lore of the people. Um, so yeah, that is a good one to have for sure. We also want a. They don't have everything in here. They've got troglodyte in here. They've got lizard folk and Medusa, but they don't have Yuan-Ti. Why do they have a Medusa? A Medusa hasn't been playable. What are classic plot hooks? Let's see what that is. Well, you don't give a crap about that, do you? Okay. Let's go on. Nissan. That's too close to Nissan Rock. Or Nissan Altima. Beer 2. That doesn't sound bad. Like the name of that. Yeah, just car names. This is Nissan. This is Hyundai. This is Ford. And this is Saturn. This is Geo Metro. Yeah, I guess it'll just be called whiskers. I was trying to think the things that the catfish have. Occasionally, they will illustrate those on dragons. They'll give them like the beard or even the like whiskered hair. Yeah, whiskers, tendrils. Yeah, like yeah, I guess it'd be called whiskers. The like iguanas will get those um tendrils, won't they? Frills. Yeah, what the ridges they get because they'll get long, long ridges. What? Okay, here we go. I think I found what I was looking for. Integument, the vertebrate integumentary system. So it's what is known to be hair in people, but in reptiles, in the evolutionary sense, reptiles are the first truly terrestrial vertebrates since they have dispensed their Now this is just what? No, that's the wrong thing. That's a vertebrae evolutionary system. Um, colors are. That doesn't at all. No, that's the wrong thing. That's sent me in a completely wrong direction. Wanna spinal ridges. The fuck are these things called? Those spines, they're just called spikes. They don't actually have a name. What are iguana spikes called? Tuberculate scales. Small tubular scales that protrude behind the panel above the front limbs and can come in a variety of colors. It doesn't make sense. Nope. I say that's wrong. Yep, no idea. They don't actually have a name. They're just called spikes. More you know. Okay. Yeah, no, I'm going to play around with this NPC generator hardcore. See what happens. We haven't been streaming for that long yet. 2.5 hours. It doesn't feel like it's been 2.5 hours. It was a really late stream tonight. I'll have to get to bed here fairly soon. Well, I say fairly soon, in like an hour and a half-ish. So I'm going to have to go ahead and get off here and get ready. Tomorrow we should be able to stream a lot sooner and a lot longer. I'll actually probably play a real game. Exactly what, I don't know yet. We'll figure something out. Again, next week we are back to our schedule. I will actually put up the schedule on Twitch. 9 a.m. to 3 p.m. Central Standard Time, Monday through Friday. We will be here. Monday and Wednesday is series gameplay, where we will stick to a game until we beat it. Tuesday and Thursday is going to be cleanup days. Games we need to finish off, either collecting achievements or doing post-story whatnots. And then Fridays will be us goofing around, whatever we want to do. We will never use it for our serial gameplay, just so that we don't have people missing out. We'll use that for MMOs, multiplayer things like Warframe. Maybe we'll clean up, do some game cleanup on that day, or we'll just goof around with fun stuff, doing whatever. That's completely open, completely random on Fridays. So, yep. So hopefully you guys will enjoy that. Immediately, the hat I have next to me. All right, change hats. Immediately, the hat I have right next to me is the New Year's hat. So that's the one you're getting. But yeah. So we will be back tomorrow, but Monday we will be fresh with the actual schedule. Happy 2024. New year, new things. Hoping for some big moves, strong moves. Yeah, I hope you guys are interested in that. I hope that's something you can look forward to and enjoy just as much as me. I know today probably wasn't all that fun. But again, we are just kind of doing random stuff this week. But hopefully we'll be here next week. Hopefully we can keep you entertained. Hopefully you can be here tomorrow, and hopefully we can do a lot more with that. But for now, I do need to get things ready. Call it a night. Wish is going to bed in like 10 minutes. So, thank you to everybody who stopped by. Oops, all fumbles. Definitely great to catch up with you again. I'm so happy to see that you're still out there. I am sorry for everything that happened. And looking forward to hanging out more. But yeah, thank you everybody. Love you all. Happy to see you. And looking forward to the next one. Thank you all so much. Bye-bye.